Hi, everyone. How's it going? If you're here, say hello in the comments. Today, I want to talk about best case scenarios versus worst case scenarios. Have you ever been around someone who, no matter what the situation was, they always planned for the worst case scenario? Or maybe you are that person. I know sometimes I'm that person. Psychology Today says it's normal to have negative thoughts, no matter how extreme they might be at times. It's part of our evolution to constantly scan our environment looking for problems to fix. The problem is not so much that we have negative thoughts, rather, the issues arise when we believe our thoughts are true and when they turn into a worst case scenario that makes us feel even more anxious. Have you ever scheduled an upcoming appointment or event where you found yourself anticipating negative outcomes from the start? I'm sure we all have. Did you know that when you believe those thoughts and gravitate toward worst case scenarios, it can trigger a series of negative impacts? Our minds are interesting because they try to prepare for potential dangers and release stress hormones like cortisol. The stress response can cause anxiety, disrupt sleep, and lead to physical health issues. Sometimes we tend to fixate on worst case scenarios in order to be cautious, which hinders our ability to enjoy the present. I think for the most part, I try to look for best case scenarios, which is something I think I learned from my dad. And so back in December, I needed to get a blood draw in a place I hadn't been before, and blood draws usually make me nervous. In fact, not long ago, I interviewed my naturopath on podcast number 112 about everything naturopathy, including blood draws. She knows that I'm not a fan of needles or pain. I mean, who is really? Anyway, getting my blood drawn was the first thing I had to do that day. And following that appointment, I had to visit the dermatologist. That's never fun. To alleviate stress, and what works for me is to intentionally not focus my energy on medical appointments until the day of. Now, I guess I could have spent weeks worrying and losing sleep over what could happen, but instead, I chose to journal about it and plan for best case scenarios and set good intentions for positive outcomes. I also focused on upcoming holiday gatherings and Christmas movies. My appointments went well, and I did indeed have positive outcomes. Yay, me. It's funny because it's right around the same time, I stumbled upon an excellent podcast by Tanya Lee about best case scenarios. She spoke about picturing the best possible outcomes and how doing this helps us shape our future, which was validating because it's what I normally try to do. She said that instead of playing devil's advocate and focusing on worst case scenarios, she challenged us to instead play angel's advocate by focusing on best case scenarios. I really love the term angel's advocate, don't you? So, after thinking about this, I wanted to share some helpful tips, especially if you naturally plan for worst case scenarios. Here are 3 ways to practice shifting your mindset toward best case scenarios. Number 1, be aware and recognize your negative thought patterns. Your current perspective is just a habit, which, of course, like other habits, can be changed. Number 2, challenge those negative thoughts and question their validity, and ask yourself if there's evidence supporting these thoughts or if they're just assumptions. Many times they're based on fears or past experiences that may not be relevant. Number 3, set an intention, journal, and visualize positive outcomes. Intentionally planning for the best and manifesting positive outcomes can significantly improve well-being. When we expect success, our brains release dopamine and endorphins, creating happiness and fulfillment. Believing that good things can happen is a mindset that empowers us to navigate challenges more effectively. You can read more at focusyourtime.com/best case scenarios. What upcoming event can you approach with a positive mindset and play the role of angel's advocate? Let me know in the comments. Okay, that's it for today. I hope you're staying warm, be kind, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.